My name is Amrita Sandhu, and it's important to me to fill in the gaps of mental health resources, especially in the South Asian community, where even I would have found them helpful. At one point, I remember being a new mom, awake at all hours of the night, Googling how to survive the postpartum period. So if you are like me and you're either in the throes of it or you're preparing for the postpartum period, you're expecting your first, second, third child, whatever it may be, then definitely stay tuned and watch this video. So sure, maybe you've made countless checklists and you've got all the physical items that your baby will need, but have you considered the psychological checklist that is important? So what I'm talking about here is making sure that your environment is one that ensures psychological safety. Psychological safety means there's not going to be any extra triggers. You're not going to be being made to feel guilty for wanting to take care of your child. There's not going to be any boundary violations. There's not going to be the tug of war over the baby's relationships and attachment figures. You're in an environment where it is very well established and understood that you are the most important person and focal person in this infant's life, and you are going to continue to care for this baby as you have been while they have been in your womb. So number one, check your environment. Is it conducive to your healing? Is it conducive to you establishing a healthy, secure attachment with your infant? There's already enough things going on with your brain and body that need tending to with 110% attention and diligence and devotion. There is no room for extra stimuli and triggers and things that are pulling your attention away from the task at hand, which is to take care of yourself and take care of your baby. Step two, if you have deemed your environment is not optimal for your mental and physical health, then it isn't necessary to start to invite in external supports and resources. This can be your mom, this can be your sibling, this can be your partner, anyone who is going to be an advocate for you. Yes, assertiveness and self-advocacy is great, but let's leave that for a later date when you're not healing from stitches and this really tumultuous time period of becoming a mom, this massive life transition that is so taxing on the brain and body. So make a list of people who are going to be your go-tos to help you create the optimal environment for yourself. If you're in a joint family living situation and the advocating and the assertiveness and the boundary creation is a no-go, then give yourself the permission to temporarily go ahead and go to your maternal family. If that isn't the environment for you, then trying to create a safe space within your immediate living quarters, whether it's in your parents' house or your in-laws' house, where you're going to feel comfortable locking the door if need be, putting a sign on the door saying that you're currently sleeping, feeding, changing, put a whiteboard on the door. Try to have communication mediums open and very clear and direct so that for these next, let's say 4 to 6 months, the name of the game is taking care of yourself and taking care of the baby. Anything that doesn't fall in line with that, there's no room for it. So try to set yourself up for success, to not have those baby blues take over and create even more upheaval and intrusive distractions from taking care of yourself. After step one, ensuring a healthy environment. Step two, calling in external supports. Step three, and I cannot stress this enough, is lean on the resources around you. Call 811 as many times as you want, the nurse's line, to run by them anything that isn't feeling right to you, any questions or concerns you have about your mental health or physical health or your baby's mental health or physical health. Have the doctor's appointments, check-ins more frequently if you need to. If you can't wait for the 2-week mark, the 6-week mark, the 2-month mark, then go ahead and make the appointment and go speak to your physician about what's going on. It's really important to have early intervention when it comes to motherhood and mental health, maternal mental health, because if we just suppress and feel like, no, I'll be fine, I got to focus on the task at hand, sometimes we don't realize that the task at hand is also taking care of ourselves just as much as we're taking care of the baby. So number three, medical appointments, medical resourcing, reach out to the nurses, reach out to the counselors, have a postpartum support group that you can either connect to virtually through the phone or in person if you're feeling up for it. Last but not least, prioritize your basic needs. Basic needs meaning eating. I know sleep isn't available to you, but take it in the pockets of time that it comes. Showering. I can't emphasize this enough. There is a long way that some warm water and those few minutes of solitude can go when it comes to not having any alone time at all. If you feel more comfortable with whoever your helper is sitting in the bathroom with you with your child, because sometimes postpartum anxiety can lead to you not wanting to shower because that means being away from your child, then go ahead and communicate that. Making sure that you are changing your clothes, even if you're awake around the clock, it's still important for your mental health to create that divide between day and night. And lastly, knowledge is power. So learn about baby blues, learn about postpartum depression, learn about postpartum anxiety. Even sometimes there can be postpartum psychosis. So it's really, really important to learn about these different terms so that if certain types of thoughts that you're not used to start popping into your head, or certain feelings start popping into your heart, at least you have a name to put to what's going on. And then you can go forward to your physician, to your doctor, and explain what's going on. And sometimes temporarily there is medicine that needs to be introduced in order to re-regulate the chemical imbalance that might have got triggered from becoming a new mom. I hope you found this helpful. I really want you to know you're not in this alone, and there is relief around the corner. I think just a little anecdotal piece of advice that someone gave to me that I really found helpful when my children were infants was the rule of twos. The first 2 days are the hardest, then the first 2 weeks, then the first 2 months, and after that, the first 2 years. And then I promise you, the breathing room comes. It does get easier. This too shall pass. Your right now is not your forever. Just try to follow the different ideas and concepts that we reviewed today. Feel free to reach out if you need more direct mental health support. My email is contact@therapycovecounseling.com. See you next time.